the father of your child. Because if he is, he'll do something about it. But it doesn't mean he's going to leave me for you. Come on, Jeff. Sure you know. His mother and father. I never said he was. Hey!
So she plays, I guess she took over for,
Who?
Presley.
Who?
No, Morgan Fairchild.
And we haven't seen this episode yet either. No, I want to stay under.
We haven't got there. Probably season 8. We're probably in season 8.
And might be, right? Oh, my little Charlie. Maybe she'll show up too. So, 1980 is when Jenna next appeared. It was played by
she took over for her.
Actor. And that was the same year that you, Morgan, debuted on Flamingo Road, which was produced by a very successful producer, Michael Podewell, who also produced Knots Landing and Falcon Crest. Was there ever talk of you playing Jen again, or were you committed to Flamingo Road and other projects?
Well, after Flamingo got canceled, they did offer me to come back and create Jenilee again. I had gone on and had a production partner we were working on developing. I live on my own where I had been a producer, so I passed on that. So, but I'm sure it had been on several years by then. And back then, shows usually lasted 7 or 8 years. Not that I've known shows didn't last that long. Maybe I should have taken it. But at that time, I had my shot to be a producer and produce my own show, so I passed for that.
Well, if you fans are like me, I stuck around on Friday nights to watch Falcon Crest, and you appeared as Jordan Roberts. And I met all the Falcon Crest cast, except I actually did meet Jane Wyman briefly in Palm Springs. What are your memories of Miss Jane Wyman and Angela Channing?
Oh, Jane Wyman was such a terrific actress and person, and so wonderful to work with. I remember they gave you a few warnings. I screwed up Reagan, and it took things. Anyway, my first day I was working, and I was in a team with David Selby of Richard Cheney, and he's in the hospital, and I have a scene with him, and I'm leaving as Angela comes in. And so we're blocking, rehearsing, and as I left, I made some wisecrack, and it was totally silent. And then Jane laughed, and then everybody laughed. And then somebody grabbed me and said, "Did anybody tell you to make jokes when Jane's on the set?" And I said, "Well, no, but she laughed." And she was great. I remember I came down one day because I tended to wear my own clothes on the show, and I was in some hot leather Jean-Claude shoes. Wow, who was the big rodeo leather guy back in the day? Mini skirt, big lapels, big shoulder pads, and all this Winkle jewelry, jewelry, 80s, massive earrings, massive everything. And I came down to do the show, and somebody came over and said, "Oh my God, Jane's going to hate that. You've got to go change." And I said, "Well, honey, I'm wearing my clothes. This is what I brought. What did I change it to?" And just about that time, Jane walked down the set, and she came over and she kind of looked me up and looked me down, looked me up and looked me down, and kind of went over to look at one of my bangles, and she kind of tweaked it and said, "Well, this is what this damn show needs, a little glitz." I have to tell you my favorite Jane Wyman story. When we were shooting up in Napa, the actors would stay at the Silverado Country Club, and the crew would stay at this Holiday Inn. We'd fly in and out of Oakland, and the Holiday Inn was closer to Oakland Airport. So one time I went up and I just had one day, so I thought, well, I'll just stay at the Holiday Inn because it's closer to the airport. Well, I finished shooting, I got sick as a dog. I had the flu, I was throwing up for like 3 days. I was so sick. And nobody knew. I was on the stage with shoot one day, nobody knew I was still there. So, about day 2, I get this knock on the door, housekeeping, and I'm like, no, just the towels. And I'm, finally I go to the door. It's this tiny little woman with her hair in a bun and this huge pot of soup. And it was Jane, without the wig, without the makeup. She always stayed there because she didn't like to travel, so then they gave her a kitchenette. And she had heard I was sick and made me this huge pot of homemade soup. And that's Jane Wyman I always remember best.
told me a story about when Falcon Crest brought on Lana Turner. And the CBS photographers were there and they wanted to get a photo of Jane Wyman with Lana Turner. So the creator of Falcon Crest, Earl Hamner, who did the Dolphins as well, he went over to Lana and said, Lana, we'd love to get a photo of you with Jane. And Lana Turner said, oh, that would be lovely. Please bring Jane to me. So Earl went over to Jane and said, Jane, Lana Turner was very excited to meet you. Could we get a photo of the two of you? She said, certainly. Please bring Miss Turner over to me. And they had to trick them in the scene to get that photo. So big personalities, legends, so many legends came on all of these shows. I mean, not Stan, too, so many amazing legends came on there. Audrey, you had a super long run in Dallas from 81 to 89.
Yeah.
And you came back for the TNT reboot. It was so great to see you in that.
So much fun.
How did you say Afton changed during that long stretch of time?
Well, I think the character arc was incredible for Afton. Of course, when she first came on, she was this kind of floozy gold digger, and it was a lot of fun to play that role. And you know, she was always splitting between JR and Cliff. And honestly, when the character moved on and she fell in love with Cliff, which she obviously did, because why else would she have stayed with him? You know, and that's funny, I've been asking a lot of people who've been coming up at the autograph signings, and they always say something about Afton and Cliff, and we've asked each one, like, why do you think she stayed with him? And some people say, well, it was love, which makes a lot of sense, empathy, and then one person said, for the money. Wow, I never thought of that one, because by that time, you know, Afton was more self-assured, and the character went through lots of changes, and I was able to sing through all of those changes and write all those songs that Afton sang. So
you wrote Afton songs?
Oh yes, I would get the script. And I would say, Afton wasn't supposed to be a singer originally on the show. I was only supposed to be there for a couple of episodes. And one day, when early shooting, and I was very nervous and very new, lunch break, I went into the empty sound stage, and I found a piano there. I said, oh, this will calm me down, because writing music calms me down sometimes. So I just went there in the darkness in the corner, and I'm working on a little tune, and all of a sudden Leonard Katzman, who was the producer-director, came by with his lunch in hand and said, oh, that's really nice, what are you doing? I said, I'm just working on something I'm writing. That was that. Next script came in, and I was a singer. And it was a really cool script, and as the character developed, the song a lot of people know is Steal Me Away. And and so I wrote that song about Afton and JR. And then it just stuck, and the character developed year after year singing.
Well, I just realized what was happening back there when I introduced you, and I was saying she slept with JR and Cliff. Several of you stepped forward.
My first episode was sleeping with JR.
Well, speaking of which, I think we met Afton when she came for Mitch and Lucy's wedding.
Yes.
So we're going to look at Afton taking something borrowed at her brother Mitch's marriage to Lucy. Let's have a look.
We know this one.
Yeah.
First time I saw you, I could tell. You always get what you want.
Well, I tried.
What happens now?
Now I just want to get downstairs and start wondering where we are.
I'm ready from now on.
Now, I have to go back to Mississippi. Gianna's going to get you just a wonderful gold witness.
Maybe we'll go there. Maybe we're not. certainly holds fascination with it.
That was my first scene ever on the show.
Yeah, but that,
In bed, yes.
show me how that conversation goes before.
Yeah, it's 7 a.m. and finally we're all set. Hello, everybody. This is Audrey, and here's Larry, and get under the covers. And, it's funny. TV land, you wear a slip, so your shoulders are bare, and you give the illusion that you're not, wearing clothes. And Larry climbs in, wearing his jeans and boots, and at the beginning, there's I don't know if you saw, there's a bucket of champagne standing next to the bed. Well, we're about to shoot the scene, and it starts where Larry kind of rolls over, and the director still, calls action, and Larry comes over and takes a handful of ice and throws it down my back and begins the scene. And I am the consummate professional, and I am taught you do not stop until the director yells cut. So I am trying desperately to say my lines, and everybody on the set is in on the joke, and they're all laughing, and I'm like, and then finally they cut, but it was like their way of breaking the ice, so to speak.
Literally. I want to address some of the folks who are not with us anymore. Ken, first of all, you spent many scenes with him. I guess I'll just ask you, just talk about that scene. What was it? How was it different shooting a love scene with Cliff Barnes?
Wow. Cliff and Ken and I I think we had a really great chemistry. We really did. With Larry, it was always fun and silliness. And with Ken, he was a very serious actor. And and the character, obviously, their relationship as characters was much more serious and enduring. And so the love scenes were different. They were filled with lots of anguish and so much that went along with their relationship. Yeah.
Both were very, very special. And and you got to work with Ken and Larry before we lost them both.
Yes.
To have one last round of them, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah. So to speak.
It was very, very special.
I think you would have loved to see the TNT show go on longer, but just the fact that Larry and Ken got to play those characters again one last time is reason enough to celebrate that show came back. That's the way I feel. Yeah. All right, Jenilee. So many of us already love you from playing Chrissy's cousin Cindy on Three's Company.
Yes. Cindy from Three's Company.
2 long-range shows when you came on to. Did you take away any lessons from the Three's Company experience when you came here to Southport to meet a cast that were even working together for several years?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm listening to all these stories, and I'm looking on the monitor and all this, and this was really a salacious show. I had no idea that all of you were like, oh my gosh, and Larry doing that to you at the first. It's like, oh God, figures, generally speaking, I was younger than most and everything else. I was really friggin' young when I got into Three's Company. I was like 19 years old. I rolled into that, and then I was really young and jealous. So I don't know how I treated it all was show business. I got a job. I said, this is my thing about working, is that I had not planned on becoming an actress. It wasn't in my head. It wasn't in that. I was a businesswoman. My dad was an aerospace engineer. He was a fabulous artist. He could pick the Mona Lisa. My